What's up everybody, welcome back to Nintendo Land, and of course we're once again going back to Super Mario Maker 2 and discussing things that should be added to the game in either future DLC or just should have been there in the first place. And today we are talking about none other than power-ups. Yes, special power-ups that grant Mario abilities that we just don't see in this game. So in order to find these power-ups, we went through all the Mario Brothers games, starting from Mario Brothers 3, of course, because the original Mario Brothers really didn't have anything special, all the way up to new Super Mario Brothers U, and of course the 3D Land and 3D World games. We're going to be looking at all the possible items that Nintendo could add in either future content or stuff that should have just been added there in the first place. So without further ado, we're going to get into our list of 13 items that I feel should be included in Super Mario Maker 2. Starting off the list with Mario Bros. 3, we have the Frog Suit. Now this is one of the greatest suits because of one mechanic, the underwater swimming. It is so bulky in Mario games, and to have the Frog Suit, you can maneuver the water pretty handily. You can pretty much turn any direction and hit cuts that you could never do in an underwater surface, and I think the Frog Suit needs to come back. On land, it's not that great. All it does is bounce, and you can jump higher and maybe move a little quicker, but I think the Frog Suit would work really well to have the different type of maneuverabilities in underwater levels that you can create in Mario Maker. Next up, we have the Tanooki suit, and this is kind of the same thing as the statue leaf, as it puts Mario into a statue state when you push a certain command. And not only that, it's like a little suit. Instead of just the leaf, the super leaf, and the tail, you kind of have the whole like bear suit, and you have the little handkerchief around his neck, which is really cool. And I also did the same thing here with the Lucky Bell, because the Lucky Bell is not only a cat suit, but it lets Mario turn into a cat statue when pushing the command prompt. So I'm really... You know, this isn't a big one, and it doesn't really change anything with the gameplay. All it does is give Mario that statue benefits to maybe break harder blocks, but that's really about it. And we have the Hammer Suit, which is very underutilized in any Mario game, and I think it really only appeared in Super Mario Bros. 3, which grants Mario the ability to not only hide in a shell when it need be, but to throw hammers just like the Hammer Bros themselves. And it is a really OP power-up because you can pretty much snipe enemies from any area all over the level, similar to Hammer Bros. You know, that's why they're so good as enemies, because to throw hammers is a really good power-up. You can just chuck 3 hammers at a time, and, you know, in giant groups of hammers, and it just covers the stage. It's really an OP attack, but it'd be fun to have in Mario Maker. For Super Mario World, we only have one item here, and it's the P-Balloon. Now, this one's kind of obscure in the Mario franchise, and it only appears up twice, but in 2 different effects. I don't know why one's a flower and one's a balloon, but the P-Balloon in Super Mario World bumps Mario up and lets him float around in order to collect things high in the sky, and the same thing comes back in Super Mario 64 for the DS, where it goes under the name the Power Flower. You can have some pretty cool and unique vertical levels with this power-up, as Mario can just slowly float to the top and you have to move left and right in order to dodge enemies. We have 3 new items here from new Super Mario Bros. DS, and we're going to start off with the Blue Shell. So the Blue Shell is a weird one, because I don't like it, but all my friends seem to. It turns Mario into a Koopa Troopa, where you can go in a shell and spin across the stage at super high speeds, but oh my goodness, the controls to this thing is crazy. I wouldn't care if this ever showed up again, but it is something to, you know, note for Mario Maker 2. The Mega Mushroom is one that really confuses me how it didn't make it. Now, I know in the original Mario Brothers theme, you can have that big mushroom to have Mario break blocks and stuff, but I want the Mega Mushroom to appear in all the other themes like it does in the past games, where you can be a giant Mario, Luigi, Toad, or Toadette and crash through blocks at your disposal. So that would be something that would be really cool and really fun to take down Bowser as giant Mario and just literally stomp on him. And then we have the Mini Mushroom, which simply just makes Mario small and super light on his feet. He can jump super high and he can run really fast, but he's very vulnerable to getting hit by things because you're so small and it's really kind of hard to control sometimes since he's so light and airy. But this could be really cool to make him get in some small spots that maybe you couldn't put any other type of Mario through. And it can make for some cool platforming stages to make sure that you're really precise with your jumps, and I could see this being a possible item added to Super Mario Maker. Next up, we go to New Super Mario Bros. Wii to check out what items they have, and I've found 2, and the first one being the Ice Flower. Now, the Ice Flower is something that's very common in Mario games and appeared from time to time again, from either 2D to 3D, and it's really nothing that special. You know, you have the Fire Flower that melts enemies and kills them, and you have the Ice Flower that, you know, freezes them. And you can turn them into ice blocks and even push the blocks around, and I think it'd be a really cool mechanic. Maybe you need to freeze some enemies to have blocks to stack up in order to get to a higher place, or maybe you could do just, you know, freeze enemies because, you know, it's better. I like the Ice Flower better, sue me. And of course, if you have the ice flower, you have to have the penguin suit. It is absolutely iconic. I love the penguin suit. The fact that you can just slide on your stomach and bust through certain levels is tons of fun. You can make tons of slopes since they are now in Mario Maker 2 and have the penguin suit and have Mario slide all the way down the slopes and maybe jump off ramps and through hoops of rings. I don't know, whatever you want to do. I think it'd be so much fun. I really would love the penguin suit. And I think it's a big one missing from the new Super Mario Bros. Franchise, and I would really love to see him. The fact that he can also shoot ice out of his hands like the ice flower is also really, really cool. So I think both of them need to be added because, especially, I can see the ice flower just simply tapping the fire flower and changing it to the ice one, or simply just, the category of suits. Maybe you have the Tanooki suit, the penguin suit, the frog suit. You can just pick which one you want. I think it'd be cool. The flying squirrel suit from New Super Mario Bros. U. I don't know why this one wasn't implemented, and I understand that they put in the propeller hat from Wii, but they didn't have anything from U, like the flying squirrel suit, which was the main power-up from that game. And it was really fun to glide through the air and even have that little burst of wind that shoots the wingsuit up, and it's really, really cool. And I love the gliding aspect, and I think it would make for some really unique levels, better than the people that make those stupid Kate levels in the Mario world. It's just so hard. But anyways, this one works really well, and I would really love to see it because the acorn isn't even a thing. The Super Acorn is nowhere to be found in any of the levels, and I just think it'd be really, really cool to have that. And, include the Waddle Wing, which is the enemy that it comes from. I mean, why are they not in there? In New Super Mario Bros. 2, we had the Golden Flower. Now, this flower turned Mario golden, and including his fireballs, which turned him into these giant gold balls that turned everything on the stage into coins. Any bricks turned to coins, any enemies turned to coins, any bosses. I don't really remember what it did to bosses, but it's a really cool power-up, and I don't think it's necessary to be in Mario Maker 2. I don't think it needs to be there, but I think it's something cool, and you can make some cool levels where you have to hit it certain blocks in order to turn them into coins and to traverse the level. I think it'd be a really cool concept, and I don't know, I guess the only, drawback is that everybody would just be collecting mad coins and be raking in them 1-ups in endless mode. And just with 2 more power-ups left, we go to Super Mario 3D Land for the Boomerang Flower, which is another type of flower that is really fun to use. I actually really love this power-up, and it's on my top 10 list, actually. I love throwing the boomerang and watch it come back, and doing quick little cool tricks in order to hit enemies that are far off in the distance, or hit it on the comeback of the boomerang. It's just a lot of fun, and it's, it just makes me happy. And for Super Mario 3D World, we have the Double Cherries, which turns Mario into many different copies, depending on how many you collect. Now, they could cap this out at a limit, of course, to like maybe 3 or 4 Marios, but this would be really fun. I could see it getting really chaotic in online play, though, where you have 4 people and they're all getting cherries, and before you know it, the 16 characters running around on the screen, and the frame rate has dipped so low that you can barely even tell what's happening. But this would be fun nevertheless, and I think it'd be really cool to have 2 Marios traversing a stage and having them do things separately. Maybe one Mario's at the top of the screen and the other is at the bottom, and they had to work together co-op in order to get the path forward open. I think this would be really, really cool. Well, guys, that is all the items that I have for you today. Those are the power-ups that I feel should be added into Mario Maker 2, whether it be DLC, a free update, or whether, they just don't come. They should have been in the game. But thank you guys for tuning in today. I'm sure I missed some type of obscure power-up that you guys are thinking about right now that I just completely blew over. If I did, let me know in the comments down below, and I would love to look at everything you have to say. Guys, I have been having so much fun going over this Mario Maker, things to add to the game series, and we are nearing the end as we only have a couple of things left to talk about, and the next thing is going to be gizmos. This includes any type of platforms or functions that other games had, and mechanics that this game does not. So that means bounce pads, boost pads, any type of wall climbing mounts, or any type of just structures and stuff that appeared in other Mario games. We're going to talk about them and everything that should be added. But thank you guys for tuning in, and of course, and like always, if you're new to the channel, please feel free to subscribe and hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all things I post. And like the video if you enjoyed, and I will see you guys, of course, on the next one. See you guys.